The 7 levels of apex predators. Level 1 Opportunistic Amateurs. Raccoons. Raccoons are the Pete Davidsons of the predatory world, famous not for hunting excellence but for adaptability and opportunism. These masked bandits lack specialized killing equipment, instead relying on dexterous paws and omnivorous appetites to exploit whatever food sources they stumble across. In urban environments, they've mastered the art of garbage can gastronomy, rather than developing true predatory skills. Their hunting style, if you can even call it that, consists mainly of catching slow-moving prey like crayfish, frogs, and unguarded eggs. Hardly the stuff of nature documentaries. Yet their intelligence allows them occasional hunting success, despite their biological limitations. When they do hunt, it's with none of the precision or power that defines higher tiers, just opportunistic scrambling. Like Davidson showing hints of actual talent in horror films, raccoons sometimes surprise us with their effectiveness but remain fundamentally opportunists. Komodo dragons, by contrast, built their reputation on a biological cheat code rather than hunting prowess. These massive lizards deliver a toxic bite filled with pathogenic bacteria that slowly incapacitates prey. Critics of true apex status note that Komodos rely heavily on ambush and often scavenge. Their hunting consists largely of waiting, biting large prey like deer or water buffalo, then tracking them for days until they succumb to infection. Unlike higher-tier predators with immediate killing power, Komodos depend on time and bacteria. They belong in this amateur tier because their success comes from biological shortcuts rather than refined predatory skill. Their primitive approach reflects an unevolving strategy locked in the lowest evolutionary tier. Level 2 Ambush Specialists. Crocodiles. Crocodiles represent a more calculated approach to predation, replacing versatility with patience and explosive power. These prehistoric survivors have used the same hunting strategy for over 200 million years, a testament to its effectiveness despite its limitations. Unlike higher-tier predators, crocodiles can't sustain long pursuits, instead converting stillness into a weapon. They lie submerged with only their eyes and nostrils visible, becoming living sculptures sometimes mistaken for floating logs. This deception masks the calculated violence that follows. When prey approaches the water's edge, crocodiles erupt with a force that generates more pounds of bite pressure per square inch than any living mammal. The infamous death roll, a disorienting spinning maneuver, dismembers prey through raw torque and savagery. However, crocodiles are more complicated than their placement suggests. Their cognitive abilities surpass most reptiles, and some species use tools, balancing sticks on their snouts to lure nesting birds. Trapdoor spiders, meanwhile, built their hunting strategy entirely around a single perfect ambush. They construct hinged burrows lined with vibration-detecting silk threads, waiting in darkness until prey triggers these tripwires. The spider's response is instantaneous, an explosion from below that transforms patience into lethal speed. The praying mantis employs a similar wait-and-strike approach, but adds stereoscopic vision and lightning-fast forearms that accelerate faster than a Formula One car. These predators belong in this tier because they've mastered a single, limited hunting strategy. Their specialized excellence demonstrates that evolutionary perfection can emerge from restraint rather than versatility. Level 3. Pack Tacticians. Wolves. Wolves transcend individual limitations through what biologists call emergent intelligence, the pack becoming more formidable than the sum of its parts. Unlike lower-tier predators relying on ambush or opportunism, wolves employ sophisticated, coordinated strategies that can only be described as tactical. They communicate through an intricate vocabulary of howls, growls, and body language, creating what amounts to a battlefield command system. When hunting moose or bison, prey that outweigh individual wolves by factors of 10, they employ flanking maneuvers, diversionary attacks, and synchronized rushes that military historians might recognize as classical pincer movements. Pack members assume specialized roles: scouts, flankers, blockers, and finishers, rotating responsibilities based on terrain and prey behavior. This social complexity extends beyond hunting to territorial defense and PvP rearing, creating multi-generational knowledge transfer. Orcas elevate these same principles to even greater heights, developing pod-specific hunting cultures passed down through teaching rather than instinct. Their coordinated wave-washing technique, creating artificial tsunamis to knock seals from ice flows, demonstrates problem-solving that borders on cultural transmission. Army ants represent the most extreme expression of collective predation, forming living superorganisms of millions that function as a single hunting entity, complete with specialized castes and battlefield roles. These predators belong in this tactical tier because they've transcended individual limitations through social intelligence. Their evolutionary innovation isn't physical but cognitive, the development of cooperation as a predatory weapon. They prove that in nature's arms race, sometimes the most powerful adaptation is simply working together. Level 4. Terrain Masters. Eagles. Eagles represent the pinnacle of aerial hunting precision, transforming three-dimensional space into a domain of absolute dominance. Unlike terrestrial predators constrained by gravity, eagles exploit the vertical dimension with a mastery that borders on the supernatural. Their specialized adaptations create the perfect storm of predatory capability: telescopic vision that can spot a rabbit from 2 miles away, hollow bones that balance strength with minimal weight, and aerodynamic architecture that turns gravity itself into a weapon. The golden eagle's hunting stoop, a dive that reaches speeds of 200 miles per hour, subjects its body to forces that would render most creatures unconscious, yet specialized blood vessels in their brain prevent blackout during these atmospheric assaults. Great white sharks achieve a similar domain mastery in oceanic environments, their bodies representing 400 million years of evolutionary refinement. Their electroreceptive ampullae of Lorenzini detect the electrical impulses of hidden prey, while their streamlined hydrophobic skin reduces drag to near-theoretical minimums. Snow leopards, meanwhile, have conquered perhaps the most unforgiving terrain. The high-altitude slopes of Central Asia, their oversized nasal cavities warm sub-zero air before it reaches their lungs, while disproportionately large paws distribute weight across treacherous snow. Their extraordinary 4-meter leaps across rocky precipices would mean death for any less specialized hunter. These predators belong in this domain mastery tier because they've achieved near-perfect integration with their specific environments. Their evolutionary refinement demonstrates that true apex status comes not from generalized capabilities, but from absolute command of a particular domain. Their specialization is not limitation, but transcendence. Level 5 Ecosystem Engineers. African lions. African lions transcend mere predatory excellence to become architects of entire ecological systems, reshaping landscapes through what biologists term trophic cascades. Unlike lower-tier predators who simply participate in ecosystems, lions fundamentally alter them, creating ripple effects that transform everything from herbivore behavior to vegetation patterns. Their sociality, unique among big cats, enables them to take down prey 3 times their size, including adult giraffes and buffalo, that would be untouchable to solitary hunters. A pride's territorial patrol creates what ecologists call landscapes of fear, invisible boundaries that redistribute herbivore populations and, consequently, plant communities. This ecological engineering extends beyond direct predation to competitive exclusion, with lions suppressing populations of mid-sized carnivores like wild dogs and cheetahs. Tigers achieve similar ecosystem-wide impacts through different mechanisms. Their solitary territoriality creates a dispersed pattern of predatory pressure that maintains biodiversity across vast ranges. Their capacity to inhabit everything from mangrove swamps to Siberian forests demonstrates an adaptive flexibility that few apex predators possess. Polar bears, meanwhile, connect marine and terrestrial ecosystems as the Arctic's keystone species. Their predation on seals creates nutrient transfers between oceanic and land-based food webs, while their scavenged remains sustain countless smaller organisms. These predators belong in this engineering tier because their influence extends beyond individual kills to shape entire biotic communities. Their ecological significance proves that true apex status derives not just from killing ability, but from system-wide impact. Level 6 Evolutionary Perfection. Dragonflies. Dragonflies represent the mathematical ideal of predatory design, not just successful hunters, but the embodiment of evolutionary optimization pushed to theoretical limits. Unlike mammals whose hunting efficiency rarely exceeds 25%, dragonflies achieve a staggering 95% success rate, making them statistically the most effective predators on Earth. Their compound eyes contain up to 30,000 individual lenses, creating a near 360-degree field of vision that processes movement 10 times faster than human perception, essentially giving them biological bullet time. 4 independent wings allow aerodynamic maneuvers that defy conventional physics, hovering, flying backward, and executing instantaneous directional changes that would tear apart less perfectly engineered bodies. Their neural pathways eliminate the delay between perception and action, creating what neurobiologists call predictive interception, the ability to calculate where prey will be rather than where it is. Mantis shrimp elevate specialization to even greater extremes with striking appendages that accelerate faster than a .22 caliber bullet, generating cavitation bubbles that produce temperatures approaching those on the sun's surface. Their visual system contains 16 photoreceptors, humans have 3, allowing them to perceive ultraviolet, infrared, and polarized light simultaneously. Peregrine falcons, meanwhile, have optimized the hunting dive to reach speeds exceeding 240 miles an hour while maintaining visual acuity that would blind any less specialized organism. These predators belong in this perfection tier because they've reached the theoretical ceiling of what evolutionary processes can produce. Their specialized excellence demonstrates that nature's ultimate achievement isn't versatility but perfect optimization for a specific predatory niche. Level 7 Ultimate Apex. Orcas. Orcas inhabit the zenith of predatory evolution, representing not just biological success but the emergence of metapredation, the ability to hunt other apex predators systematically. Unlike all lower tiers, orcas transcend their physical attributes through cognitive sophistication that approaches sentience. They're the only species known to develop distinct hunting cultures, with different populations specializing in entirely different prey and techniques passed through generations via deliberate teaching. Norwegian orcas herd herring into tight balls before stunning them with tail slaps, while Patagonian pods intentionally strand themselves on beaches to capture sea lions, a technique requiring calculated risk and multi-generational knowledge transfer. Their neurological complexity enables them to coordinate with mathematical precision, creating wave-washing sequences that require anticipating the actions of both pod members and prey. Sperm whales elevate these same principles to even greater depths, literally, hunting giant squid in lightless abysses through echolocation so powerful it can stun prey with sonic force alone. Their specialized brains contain spindle cells previously thought unique to humans and great apes, enabling social cognition that creates the ocean's most complex societies. Humans represent the ultimate expression of predatory evolution, transcending biological limitations through technological extension and abstract thinking. Our capacity to conceptualize prey behavior across time enables hunting strategies unprecedented in nature, from persistence hunting that exploits our unique thermoregulation to conceptual traps that harness understanding of animal psychology. These species belong in this ultimate tier because they've transcended mere biological optimization through metacognition. Their evolutionary achievement isn't just physical or social, but epistemological, developing knowledge about knowledge itself as the ultimate predatory adaptation. I watched orcas hunting once. They were playing chess while other predators were playing checkers.